Jazakallah khair, Dr. Yusuf, for reminding me. So as I said, this session it's very important, and it was very important everyone to attend session 1, which was about the mission goals, about the program management. Session 2, which was about the program management, about counseling, about something in teaching and learning. Session 3, which was yesterday, which was about program management, quality assurance, something about teaching and learning. So you can go to the recording of these sessions to have more information, because today we will focus in specific things. Many things we will say, okay, that one we covered in session 1 or session 2, and we can have some discussion. Actually, this you can see this session is with a sample of faculty members. They required to have between 10 to 12 faculty members. So each program, CS and IS, they already nominate between 10 to 12 faculty members to attend, which will be in the second day. It will be the first session in the second day. It will be, inshallah, at 3:40 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. Here, they wrote about standard 3, discussing the topics related to teaching and learning. But when we go in depth and based on the reviewers, normally, they said this is the only time they will meet at the faculty without any position. So they have some questions in different. For example, you can see here they are asking about the culture and climate, about standard 2. They are asking here with the student regarding program and course criteria requirements, communication, accurate communication. It's mean that academic advising. So they could go quality assurance, involvement, a lot of things that could be in different standards. So today's session is very important, but we cannot cover all the topics. So session 1, 2, 3 was very important, basic, to have a full picture about today's session. So as mentioned here from NCAAA, the first topic will be discussed about the faculty involvement in the curriculum design, development, review, and modification. So before we just have, because all these things almost we covered in the 3 days, the last 3 days, session 1, 2, 3. Can I have a question now? Could you please explain your involvement in the curriculum design, development, review, and modification? Can anyone explain how you are involved in the curriculum design, development, review, and modification, which we already covered in the last 3 days? In which way, how?
Yes, Dr. Alshargabi, may I answer?
Yes, brother.
In curriculum development, I was part of the curriculum committee. And on the basis of the recommendation of our previous assessment cycle, we have considered different international standards like ACM, IEEE. We have also considered the ABBOT requirements, NCAAA requirement during our curriculum design. This is the designing and review also in the form of PLO assessment. In last assessment cycle, we have done the assessment on the base of our assessment cycle, and then after that, on the base of that, we have done the modifications. So mainly it was in curriculum committee, and with the involvement of all the faculty member in different journal meetings, staff meetings, and then it went to the different process to the after curriculum. It goes to the department council, then college council, and then finally it went to the university level, and so on. So this is brief our process that we have followed here.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Akram, and we can say it's already aligned and identical with the things that we already talked about the last 3 sessions, and which is written in the SSR. Okay, anyone can add more? Anyone can add more?
Assalamu alaikum. Can I?
Yes, Sister Rania, please.
Yes, faculty is also involved in curriculum design. And apart from that, course reports, CLOs assessment, when the course was designed, then CLOs were also designed, and the alignment of the PLOs and as a course coordinator also, they are also involved with their course report, course syllabus, etc.
That's perfect. Jazakallah khair, Sister Rania.
Thank you.
دكتور مينو تفضلي اشوفك تفتحي المايك تفضلي دكتور.
I just wanted to say I think every faculty involved in curriculum design, in curriculum modification specifically, through course report, but through the comments they provide in the course report, it helps to modify, improve the course.
That's also perfect. That one, Jazakallah khair, Dr. Mainoun. Okay. Also, what about
if you mind, I have just a question. I'm answering your question, but I have a question because of your question. For the curriculum design or curriculum modification, we have this improvement. Let us say I want to improve the course syllabus or the course material. Is that implemented in a semester basis, yearly basis, every 4 years? How that works? And I just want to ask this question, exactly the period of the action can be taken to make a modification for example, the syllabus.
Jazakumullah khair. Any answer for Dr. Khairi question? دكتور غسان فتحت لي تجاوب ولا بالخطأ؟ دكتور يوسف تفضل. طيب, I will repeat Dr. Khairi question. Dr. Khairi question was, what is the period to review the course specification? Is it semester-based, yearly-based, and based on what? When we have to update the course syllabus. Is this your question, Dr. Khairi, in very simple way?
Yes, let us say I made a recommendation for change the curriculum or change for the syllabus. How the action, how long it takes to take that change, the recommendation for someone teaching the course?
Yes.
I'm asking on the how and when.
That's perfect. Any answer? Because this is expected question. And we covered this during the last 3 sessions. Anyone can interrupt and can just give his opinion or what we have already, because it's related to something major. Yes, Naila. Sister Naila, please.
Assalamu alaikum. I think Dr. Khairi's question, if the suggested change is a minor change, then it will be done immediately under the supervision of course coordinator. But if it's some major change regarding PLO or something else, then we have to follow it under the assessment cycle, and that will be a major change which requires the involvement of department council and college council. In fact, university council also.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Naila. Yes, Dr. Khairi and everyone, this is true. Course syllabus, it's not semester-based change or yearly-based change. No, the review of the course specification as a full review, as it's in the assessment cycle, which we did for 4 years for the PLOs or 5 years for the mission. But we have to differentiate between 2 things. We have a minor improvement and major improvement. Minor improvement can be immediately implemented anytime next semester. So the date of that, it will be approved by the curriculum committee, okay? And khalas, it will be this is the final version. And it can, maybe there is no change for example, now we design our course specification, and for 1 year, after 1 year, we find that there is an improvement in the course specification. We need to change some CLOs. We modified based on that, we will, okay, this is the new updated version of the course syllabus. It may remain for 3 years more until the cycle is end, if there is no any other improvement or minor action. But if it's major, we have to postpone the major action to the assessment cycle after 4 years ended. I hope we answer your question. Okay, based on that, we just remind, as you said, that all faculty involved in the curriculum design, development, review, and modifications, everyone, how through knowledge groups, as we said yesterday, through the curriculum committee, through the assessment committee, through the KPIs committee. As Akram said, through the knowledge group, we are working to design the course specification, review the course specification, curriculum committee. We are designing the study plan, reviewing the study plan. Assessment committee, we are assessing the course learning outcome, program learning outcome. Based on that, in the KPI committees, we are assessing the KPIs, the quality of teaching, a lot of things, which finally can contribute to the curriculum modification, curriculum review, curriculum development. So we are, all of us, in different level, in different aspects, we are contributed or involved in the curriculum design and review. Also, how, as also, Jazakallah khair, Akram and everyone, through meetings, workshop, surveys, task-based, sometimes we give some task-based. So everyone is involved there through these specific committees, through our daily work, course report, recommendation that we give. During all these things, we are involved in the curriculum design. And how, as we said, how we are involved, as this question of Dr. Khairi, it will be through minor or major actions and the differences. Okay, so actually we have to prepare, we have to be ready. We should prepare example for a minor changes and a major changes that align with the approved policy. So we need in CS and IS to be ready with an example that we take an action in major action. And we need to prepare a real example that we take a minor action. These both should be aligned with what is our policies and procedures. And this is a questions has been raised or asked during interviews. So we should be ready. So CS and IS, this is one of the things we have to prepare and to be ready. So they may ask, okay, give us example. We have the example. It's ready to show everything, how we do the minor and major. Okay, can now to ask, what is the difference between minor and major? What is the things that I can say minor? What is the things that I can say major? We discussed these things during the first day.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam, Doctor.
Yes, it is minor if it is less than 20%. Any percentage upper than that, it is considered as major changes.
You mean at the course level?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Yusuf, tafadhal.
So major changes would be anything that's related to the PLOs, something that's that can affect the mission of the program, the goals of the program. But if it's in the course level, then I would assume it's a minor change.
Okay.
Can I consider CLO change is a minor change? Let us say I have a 7 CLO. I decided to make some change on the wording or even add extra CLO.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Doctor. Now we will answer about that. Any other opinions?
Excuse me, Doctor.
Tafadhal, Dr. Ghassan.
Actually, I think there is, in my opinion, there is nothing to say minor is something, let's say, with limited things as a restrictive. maybe we can say, for example, the major changes in the same program of study may include, but not limited to, let's say, complete revision of the program's requirement. For example, if we want to add a new core course, for example, let's say additional required credit, this is also considered as a major, which is what increase the total number of credit required for the degree. This is also considered as a major. Minor change also, let's say, adding or removing maybe elective choices. This is also as example, and it is not limited for this. Unless this, let's say, the elective choices that maybe involve department or college reducing their courses, let's say, consider the core requirements. Maybe also the manner to renaming of the course. Once you consider this is minor or major, maybe there is many factors or aspects regarding this. But in my opinion, nothing to say. We cannot make a limitation or a scope for this.
جزاك الله خير دكتور غسان. دكتور هاني تفضل.
Thank you. As others said, the major affecting the course curriculum, the minor affecting the content no more with no more than 20%. Thank you.
جزاك الله خير.
Excuse me.
تفضل دكتور أنور.
Yeah, just I want to say, in my view, I think that major change is the change that introduced to the PLO's, CLO's mapping or matrix. Any change affects the PLO's, CLO's matrix. This is considered as a change, as a major change. But other than that, any change, I think it's considered as a minor.
جزاك الله خير دكتور أنور. نايلة تفضلي. Yes, Sister Naila, please.
Yes, my point of view is if all the stakeholders are involved and we are dealing with PLO modification, which goes towards the goals and missions of the program modification, then it will be considered a major modification. And if we are not involving all the stakeholders and we can do it within the department, within the program, then it will be considered, that can be a curriculum, CLO, syllabus change, that will be considered a minor modification.
جزاك الله خير sister. جزاك الله خير sister. جزاكم الله خير everyone. Actually, this is important things, and we have to unify what is we consider it really as a minor and major. And in my opinion, anything that affects the courses, the curriculum itself, the learning outcomes, the goals, and the mission and needs, as Sister Cyrus said, the involvement of the stakeholders, that could be considered as a major. Anything is below that, even if the alignment, as Dr. Anwar said, it's considered as could be major. But anything with affecting just only, we add some content, we change on that in the course level with not that big change, not more than 20%. Okay, that could be a minor. But we have to define it in a clear way. If we didn't have any written things, this is one of the things we have to work on it now, to be clear, defined in one of our documents, and everyone should be aligned with the things that we wrote it, and to be aligned with that. So maybe tomorrow we have a meeting, we can discuss to come up with a defined strategy or a defined definition, what is a minor, what is a major. So all of us, we follow what that will be also aligned with the university policy. So yes, Naila.
I think we discussed, yesterday or day before yesterday, that program council will decide that is it a minor change or a major change. So can we say that this is a right point?
Yes, but based on these rules. So now I think we have different opinions now. These different opinions, this is normal as we are faculty members. So we have it to be defined. Even if the department council, they should depend on some rule, clear rule of that. So I think it's better now to be clear to everyone by define things, so we can have just a small meeting tomorrow of the day, tomorrow in the morning. We have a brainstorming, so we define exactly what does it mean minor, what does it major, what is the difference between them. Okay, as we said, this is just to remind everyone, this was the process, how modifying or developing or reviewing modification the curriculum, starting from the program assessment committees based on the PLOs. Dr. Hani, تفضل.
Thank you so much. I just like the idea that we will have a small meeting to have the minor and major. That's it. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Hani. So starting, reviewing, designing from the scratch will be from step 2. But reviewing, modification, it will be start from the program assessment committee based on the PLO assessment, about KPI assessment. Then it will go to the curriculum committee. Then after approval of the proposed curriculum, modification or review or design, it will be goes to the department council. Then it will go to the college council. It will go to the university curriculum committee. Then it will go to the university council. We have to prepare an example that shows that we follow these steps during our curriculum updation, when we update our CS and IS curriculum, and should be aligned also with the university policy. We have to prepare the exams to be ready during the visit, because also this is some universities, some programs during this cycle, they ask, okay, give us an example, real example. This is for the course. As we said, course report based on the CLO assessment, course assessment extra, it will go to the course coordinator. Course coordinator, if it will, if it's minor, it will be approved, then it will be modified in the course syllabus. Otherwise, it will go to the knowledge group, curriculum committee, then it will go to the department council to approve it, and maybe it will be postponed as a major change to the end of the cycle. Also, we need to have prepare a real example of any changes that happened following this rule. Should be ready before the visit. Okay, just remind everyone, we are involved of this, the whole involvement of the quality system. This is the quality system, the input, process, output, outcomes, and the assessment of KPIs, assessment of learning outcomes, self-evaluation scale, annual report, course report, and this is the way. Okay, the reports that we can involve in the curriculum design through our course reports. Everyone is participating in the course report. As Dr. Maimouna said, in annual program report, there is recommendations, and all the faculty, I think they are involved in preparing annual program reports, in the KPIs report that affects the curriculum, PLO assessment report affecting the self-evaluation scale report, also it's affecting the curriculum, stakeholder surveys results. We are creating these surveys, we are collecting the data, we are writing the reports, okay? We are writing the self-study report. So all of us in different way, in different reports, in different committees, in different reports, we are involved in the curriculum design, development, review, and modification. And all the reports that we are doing, there is an assessment or data that we analyze this data, recommendation, and we close the loop, which in this case affecting the curriculum design. We talk about it during the last sessions. Now this session is the second topic. This session, faculty involvement in the development and assessment of CLOs, PLOs, and graduate attributes, and alignment with national quality framework. Okay. Yesterday, I think we talked about how we develop the CLOs, we develop the PLOs. Okay. But now we will talk about the assessment. It's important today to talk about the assessment if you remember yesterday, we talked, this is our continuous improvement framework for the PLO, that we have the PLOs. We have 4 steps to do: assessment, evaluation, design improvement, and closing the loop or implementation. So we are involved in this way. Just to remind everyone, this is our conceptual model that we said for the new or the current assessment plan 2017-2021. We have different way of assessment, which is formative assessment, summative assessment. We have direct assessment. We have indirect assessment. So we are using really five assessment methods: direct assessment, indirect assessment, summative assessment, and formative assessment. Okay, and we have quantitative assessment. So just here as a question to be everyone is clear what is this concept, because they may try to see if everyone is clear to them. What is the difference between summative assessment and formative assessment? Yeah, it could be one of the questions. How you consider the formative assessment, how you consider the summative assessment. تفضل Dr. Yusuf.
The summative assessment is accumulated evaluation. So could be sometimes at the end of the program, for example, in the 4th year, or maybe at the end of the year. But for the formative, it's a regular assessment, where it's about exams, quizzes, something like this.
جزاك الله خير دكتور يوسف. Perfect. دكتور هاني تفضل.
Yeah, as Dr. Yusuf said, the formative during the process, whereas the summative at the end will assess everything.
Very, very informative answer. جزاكم الله خير. Yes, summative assessment at the end of the academic process. If we consider for the program, summative at the last year, this is summative. Formative during the academic process, during the we are teaching. For the program, it will be in level 5, 6, 7. This is the formative. For the course, the summative assessment at the end of the course, at the end of the semester, mainly. It will be, but this is mainly. Formative assessment for the course level, like midterm exam, like quizzes, all these things. Okay, so direct and indirect, different between them. Because we are using direct, we are using indirect. Naira, yes, please.
From the diagram, it's very obvious that the student outcome is a direct assessment. The indirect could be a survey or exit survey or.
جزاك الله خير دكتور خيري. Yes, Naila, تفضلي. Yes, Naila, sister.
Direct is all our evaluations which are related to our CLOs, SOs, our exams, and all the semester activities. And indirect through surveys, what we conduct from student exit, current survey.
Perfect. Jazakallah khair, Sister Naila. Yes, direct is the assessment of the performance of the students and the learning outcome. Direct performance. So it could be assessed from exams, rubrics, these things. However, indirect, we assess the opinion of the students or other stakeholders about the learning outcomes. So we are assessing, for example, indirect. Okay, due survey that we are distributing a survey saying that. Okay, for one of the questions could be how you assess your CLOs indirect assessment. And how? Yes, Akram.
Indirectly, we are assessing in course survey. We are distributing course survey, so that is also indirect assessment.
Yes. What about direct assessment in your course?
Direct assessment that is based on the CLOs, actual performance of the students.
That's perfect. So these four assessment methods: direct, indirect, summative, formative. And all the data should be in quantitative assessment. It means shows a number. It doesn't accept that just to say we have a good average of students, they achieve the learning outcomes. No, they would like to say 75% of our students, they achieve the learning outcomes. So we will not go in depth about our assessment cycle, but it's clear everyone to understand, differentiate between summative, formative, direct, indirect, and quantitative. And this is, as we said, this is assessment plan for our program. Just to remind everyone, we have one of the methods, direct assessment methods, was through, CLO achievement. We are using CLO achievement as a formative assessment so that we are assessing the PLO, program learning outcome, from the course CLOs, course learning outcomes, as a formative. It means we are selecting some courses in the middle of the curriculum from level 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? And we see what is the performance of the CLOs that map to the PLOs. So this is one of our methods, so that we do it at the beginning of our assessment cycle. And alhamdulillah, we already we finish assessing all the learning outcomes using CLO. Then we have another direct assessment methods. We are assessing our learning outcomes through performance indicators and rubrics, but we are using this way as a summative. And this is what we are doing these semesters, what we did last semester, the semester before, and we will do this semester. We are assessing summative from, who remember these semesters? We are assessing PLOs from which courses? Anyone remember?
Graduation projects.
Exactly, Dr. Khairi. This last semester, the semester before, and this semester, we are assessing the PLOs from graduation project 1 and 2. Because khalas, this is summative. Students, they are already doing the capstone course. Because a project is called capstone course, which is the students, they can practice on their learning outcomes. So we are designing performance indicators, which is for each learning outcomes. For example, every semester we are assessing 2. For example, you can see here in each semester, we are just only assessing 2 learning outcomes. For example, you can see here, we are assessing A and we are assessing I. In each semester, we assess 2 learning outcomes based on the method, based if it's formative, summative. So in our case here, for example, we are assessing A. So for the student's outcome A, or the first program learning outcomes, we define some performance indicators. We have 3 performance indicators for these learning outcomes. Based on that, we design a rubric. The rubric the one is distributed to you during the graduation project assessment. If you remember last time, Dr. Khairi and the team with Dr. Ghassan and everyone, they sent us a survey, if you remember, to evaluate our students based on a rubric. And I think everyone last semester, for example, just to remind, participate in this survey. He was participating in the assessment of learning outcome through this way, performance indicators and the rubrics. We have another way of assessing our program learning outcomes through the exit survey, which we give it to our students at the end of graduation. Also, Dr. Khairi and his team is helping in these things. And this is summative, because exit is summative and indirect. And we also assessing our learning outcomes through formative, indirect, through current student survey that we distributed to our students in level 4, 5, 6, 7. And normally we are taking the opinion of the learning outcomes from the back surveys. So this is the main learning assessment methods that we are using, and combination from different assessment methods: summative, formative, direct, and indirect. Based on that, just to remind everyone how you are participating, this is a real table, but this is not need to be some updation. If you remember, I think everyone, we divide every faculty to the program sub-assessment committees. For example, group 1 is the head of Dr. Fikri, and this is the group: Saira, Iman, Khairi, Basit, Omar, Mazen, Khalid Makdi. I said this is old one, okay, just because when I prepared, it was not the time to find the latest one, but they are assessing A and I. And every semester we are updating this time, okay? For example, last semester, it was headed by Dr. Ghassan and his team. Khairi was there. We update this, and it was about C and E, okay? And this semester, Dr. Hamdi, okay, Dr. Hamadi, he is the head of this one. We will assess the G, H, and K. So just we remember, I think everyone is here. He was involved in subcommittees in the program assessment committee. And just to remind, this is one example. Okay, for example, you were in the team of Dr. Fikri, just to remind everyone how you assess the learning outcomes. Normally, we distribute this form. The people who work, they just remember that. We distribute this form. So, for example, when Dr. Fikri, we assess at the time, he was, for example, in the CLO, because we have a CLO, or performance indicator, or exit survey, or candidate center survey as the same that we said. For example, now we will assess the PLO-A, which is an ability to apply knowledge of computing and mathematics appropriate to the discipline. Okay, and this was the time, it was the coordinator, Dr. Fikri. Normally, we distribute this table. So what Dr. Fikri and his team, they did at that time, for example, we will see first example, the strategies. What we mean by strategies, this is just to remind everyone. Okay, strategies, it means that we collect all the courses that are mapped with this learning outcome. In our courses, CS and DICE, we have, for example, almost 45 courses. So from the curriculum mapping, we see what are the courses that map to this learning outcome A. We mention all the courses. Start from programming 1 until graduation project. All the courses could be 20, 25 courses. Any course mapped to the learning outcomes, we mention it here. But then we are not assessing, if you remember, we are not assessing from all these courses. It's difficult to do that. We are doing what's called source of assessment. Source of assessment, it means we are collecting the suitable courses, the more relevant courses from all this list here, based on the assessment method. For example, here we are using CLO, and if you remember CLO, it was formative. So based on that, we will select some courses from level 5, 6, 7. So if you see here, these courses was really selected because this was formative. So we select from, for example, 20 courses, we select 5 courses. Then we finish other things. What will be the way? Blended questions in the exams and CLOs. Okay. Then what is the thresholds? The level of achievement that we needed is 65 of students get 65 in the learning outcomes. And the evaluation is group committee 1, headed by Dr. Fikri, for example. Observer was Dr. Mohammed Alshargabi. For example, here, if we are assessing the same PLO using performance indicators, what we will do, the same. Strategies will be all the courses aligned here. However, the source of assessment will be different. Why? Because PI's performance indicators used as summative. So we choose only graduation project 1 and 2, and others will be remaining. So this is just to remind. Source of assessment, I said, if summative, we choose from A relationship or M relationship at the end of the curriculum. If it's formative, normally we choose from the middle of the curriculum in the relation P, okay? If summative should be last year, if formative should be joiner year. This is just to remind you. Good example of students, both male and female section. Normally when we select the source of assessment, why we select these 5 courses, we see, is these 5 courses offered this semester in male and female? Is really we have good number of students to be as good sample? So sometimes some courses will not be chosen because no students in male or no students in female. We have, in case of CLO assessment, we should select CLO that map with the PLO in strong relation. Yani we have to select the CLO inside the course that really have a direct map with the learning outcomes according to the same level of Bloom taxonomy. Okay, we are not using weighting, we are not using sampling. And this is just an example. This is a real example of one of the reports. Okay, so this is, for example, assessment of PLO A and I, okay, from the CS and male and female courses percentage. So we select from these courses. So SOA, this is the achievement in the course, this one course, the second course, third course, fourth course, fifth course. Then we have the overall average. And this is another SO, this is another program learning outcomes. And this is, we get in each course, then we take the average and we take, this is the overall achievement of the PLO. So in each semester, to be clear, we are assessing 2 program learning outcomes. Could be from the same courses, which is easy for us, but sometimes they are from different courses. Then we are doing the mapping. And this is a real a chart from our current assessment plan. However, but finally, we are coming up, for example, at the end of this year, after we finish all the second assessment cycle, we will come up with assessment data like that for the current assessment plan. This is the real data, the overall data, the achievement data for the first assessment cycle for our learning outcomes. And this is the action plan that what took yesterday. Based on that assessment, normally we come up with some actions to be implemented. For course assessment plan, just to remind everyone, that one as how you assess, you are involved in the assessment of PLOs. Any questions in the PLO before we go to the course? It was just only to remind everyone what was the way. Okay. For course assessment, how you are involved in the course assessment, I think this is everyone remember, just to remind. We have 4 or 3 steps: assessment planning, we have designing the exam, collecting the data. This is a symbol of any course assessment plan where we have type of exam or source of data. It will be like assessment, midterm 1, midterm 2, midterm lab midterm, midterm 2, mini project, lab exam, final exam. And we have here the CLOs of your course. Then you create your assessment. I said, for example, CLO 1, I will assess it as formative assessment in assignment and midterm 1. Then I will assess it as summative in the final exam. Indirect also, I will assess it as a summative at the end of the course. Okay. For example, midterm 2, I will assess 2 learning outcomes, CLO 2 and CLO 4, and so on. And this is a symbol of course assessment plan. Based on that, we have to design the questions. And you know that our college, we have a unified template, which is design-based, outcome-based exam. So, for example, you are designing final exam. So you will see what is CLOs that you have to assess, CLO 1, 2, 3, 4. So based on that, you will go to design your outcome-based exam based on the college template. I think this template, everyone knows this template. Okay. So for example, CLO 1, 2, 3, 4, this is final exam, for example. So based on my assessment plan. Okay, maybe yours is to assess just only 1 and 3 based on that. Okay, so if you remember, this is just a symbol of our assessment, the designing the exam paper. We normally write the CLO here. We try to have the questions here from any type, true and false, multiple choices, description, anything. But the most important, the level of the questions or the verb of the question should be at the same level of the action or the verb in the learning outcome. This is especially when we assess. Okay, and for example, analyze, okay, the algorithm. So we can see this is all the questions. And the most important, the level of the questions here should be at the level of the course of the CLO. So based on that, khalas, we have assessment plan, we design our questions. Now we collect the appropriate data. Just to remind everyone, collecting the data from each student. This is the first student. Khalas, he submit exam. I start doing the marking. So, for example, in CLO 1, in the first question, the first student, he obtained 3 out of 4. Then in the second question, he obtained 3 out of 3. And in the third question, for example, he obtained 2 out of 3. So based on that, I can easily know that how he achieved each student in the CLO1, because the CLO1, the total marks of CLO1, the maximum marks is 10, 4 plus 3 plus 3. And these students, he achieved 8 out of 10. So I can just directly, I said, these students achieve 80% of the learning outcome. But we have the Excel. Before that, we have the website, our website, but now it's not good. And this is will continue to the all questions. Based on that, just to remind you, the Excel could be, I have to change the marks here. CLO1, the mark here will be how much? Should be based on this one. Okay, 10. And it could be from the Excel automatic, be assigned. It will be 10. So the first students, how much he get in this CLO1? 8. Again, based in what? Based on here. This is 10. And the students, he got 8. So based on that, we do the final course evaluation. Normally in our college, in our program, the CLO achievement, okay, is 65%. So, for example, this is as formative or summative, just only to remind. If imagine that your CLO2, you are assessing CLO2, and the total marks of all the questions that assessing CLO2 was 5. This is the maximum marks. The first students, okay, now we have to find how much will be 65% out of this 5. So this is the total, and this is the threshold, or this is the achievement level. Okay, achievement level is 3.25. Why? Because this 3.25 is the 65% of 5. So imagine first students, he obtained 5. He achieved the learning outcome or no? Yes, he achieved it. Second students, he got 3 in CLO2. He achieved the learning outcome? No. Third students, he achieved 4. Yes, achieved. Fourth students, he achieved 2. So total, how many students out of the 4 students as here, for example, they achieved the learning outcome? Only 2 in a percentage of 50%. And 2, they did not achieve the learning outcome 50%. So 50%, it doesn't mean that in this course, CLO2 was not achieved. For example, another example, this could be summative, but just another example. This is 6, another example. In another course, for example, this is 6. So we have to find the 65%, which will be 3.90. So these students achieve, not achieve. So total, 3 students out of 4, they achieve. In percentage, 75. 1 student, they didn't achieve 25, but the achievement percentage is 75. Yes, Dr. Mohammed Alshargabi. Dr. Mohammed, تفضل.
Can you hear me?
Now, yes.
Yes, actually, we used to do this only for the final exam. So if we have been asked in the interview, do you do it for the all direct assessment like quizzes, midterms, or the final exam? So what should be the answer?
Yes, it's good that you are do it for the final exam. It's no problem because you are doing summative. One of the problem could be that the people who has professional in the assessment, if you mix the formative data with the summative, sometimes it will be a problem. But now you are a solution. You are just assessing summative in the course, and this is acceptable, very acceptable, no problem. If you are assessing in the quizzes, midterm 1, midterm 2, should be a formative, should be separate from the summative. Don't mix, okay, summative with formative. So what we are doing, just only for the final exam, it's also correct.
Okay, thank you.
جزاك الله خير. دكتور هاني تفضل.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Now for the summative assessment here. For those who are not achieved, what are the procedure here? What are we gonna do for them? Is it just go? The instructor will write the recommendation and the report, and that's it, or is there any another further like action?
Jazakallah khair, Doctor. This is a very important question. This is why the people said summative assessment. Okay, summative assessment, by the way, any accreditation agency, they would like to see the accreditation in summative way. So, for example, in our data, when we submit our data, they would like to see that we are assessing summative. Why? Because when we said our students achieve the learning outcomes or no, during the summative, because learning outcome is what? Is skills, knowledge, values that students able to do at the end of the academic process. So to say that achieve is summative, that's perfect. But some of the people say, one of the problem of summative, your students, they did not achieve the learning outcome. Okay, so you will do a recommendation, that perfect recommendation, you will enhance your teaching in the course, you will enhance the content of the course. However, who's the students they will be able to get this modification? The new students. Okay, so they said it's better also to have formative assessment. So this is why during our PLO assessment, when we design it, we have this formative, which we didn't have it last semester. Last assessment cycle. This time we have formative. Why? Because formative is very important to discover your weaknesses in early stage, not just only to wait until the end at summative. Then when you discover that you have a problem, right, you are do a recommendation, you will have improvement, but your improvement could be, or for sure it will be, for the new student, not for your old students. So this is why in our PLO, we have formative and summative. In the course, actually, to be honest, we are not implementing, maybe some our brothers and sisters, they are implement formative and summative, some of them summative. But the truth that we have, most of us, we have summative. The improvement plan normally goes for the new students. Some of them, they are may say some recommendations goes to the next course. But in our course level, we are doing that summative, and it will be written in the course report, implementation for the new students. But alhamdulillah, for our PLO assessment, we have formative before the summative, and we can see if we compare the result between formative and summative now, we can see there is enhancement in the summative in real data. I may answer your question, Doctor. I answer your question, Dr. Hani. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you so much.
If I may add to this question, for the time we are doing online now for more than a year, almost we end up 80% of the marks goes to the what you said formative. Something worked during the year, and then the final exam will be 20 years, and then you assess the student for these 20 years and make summative. I don't know how we deal with this one, and you say just 20% of the marks. That's the final exam, the final, and you make the summative assess for all the CLOs in the final only 20.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Khairi. I think you have internet connection problem. Yes, you are right, and this is emergency situation. And if you just remember, everyone, last year in the second semester, we designed a specific survey that we collect the CLO achievement from three different perspectives. If you remember, was a survey that designed and distributed to everyone. Okay, Dr. Youssef, Dr. Mohammed Mashour was participating in this survey. It's just collecting. We ask everyone to assess the CLO using three different ways because was emergency case. We ask, okay, what was the assessment of your CLOs from the final exam, which we consider was a little bit difficult? What is the assessment of your CLO from your student survey? And we ask you to give your opinion because we consider that in this way, in very difficult way, we are not really prepared for the online exam. Alhamdulillah, we are prepared for the teaching, everything, but as assessment, we are not prepared. So we give more weight. We give more weight to your assessment of the learning outcome based on your opinion, because if really the students they achieve it or no. Because even if direct assessment from the final exam, Many of the students, they cheat the answer because it was online. So we cannot consider it. So we give more value to your opinion. And everyone was teaching last year, second semester, he participated in this learning outcome, and we come up with charts and we find what is the learning outcomes achieved or no. As a final, we found that accuracy of our teaching was 75% comparing between the three different way of assessment. Okay, Dr. Khairi?
Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Akram, please.
Thank you, Dr. Jabi. About this formative and summative assessment, I'm normally using both. As you said, the summative assessment, if I use, that will be beneficial for the coming semester students. But for this semester student, how they will get benefit? So I'm using formative. For example, I have taken the midterm 1 exam and I given 2 questions. I'm teaching theory of computation, and I given 1 question, that is construct the DFA, deterministic finite automata, and I map, suppose, this course to course learning outcome number 2. And also I have given another question to construct the NFA, and that is mapped to course learning outcome number 3. The results will give me indication that students are competent to construct DFA and NFA, and on the basis of the results, suppose I say the students are comfortable in designing or constructing the DFA, but they are not well in constructing the NFA. So now what next I will do, I will change my strategy to give more time to the students in tutorial or extra examples on NFA to improve their level of construction in NFA. So in this way, I'm using both, not only summative, formative and summative both.
Yes, Jazakallah khair, brother. When I said some of us faculty that they are doing, I was expecting you and other brothers and sisters they are doing. So this is examples, but not everyone is doing that. But it's good also to mention. But this is also some people do that, which is very good example. But if other people they are not doing that, it's not that problem, because the minimum requirement for any accreditation. This is very good to everyone to answer. Any accreditation agency, the minimum requirement in assessment, they are needing your assessment to be summative and direct and quantitative. These 3 should be there. The indirect assessment is very, 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 very important. But if you don't have it, it's not like big issue like if you don't direct assessment. To have a formative assessment is the perfect way to have it. But if you didn't have it, it's not that also big issue like if you don't have the summative. So any accreditation agency, normally they focus summative, direct, quantitative. They request indirect and formative, but not as much as summative and direct assessment. Jazakallah khair, Akram. Anyone would like to add something or ask any question? Right. Jazakumullah khair. And for example, this is how we assess our learning outcome using the survey. Normally, we are using 5-scale survey. And this is, by the way, required by NCAAA. They would like any survey to be designed using a 5-scale survey. So we are using this 5-scale survey. So for example, we are saying that how many students they said they believe. For example, we are assessing CLO2. Okay. So we asked them, do you think that the course was able to help you too? And we wrote the CLO, blah, blah, blah. Design, for example, AR diagram for a real case study. Okay. So one student just only he answered strongly agree, and 0 agree, neutral, 0 disagree 2, and strongly disagree 1. So now we can see the achievements of the CLO using indirect is 25. How? Normally we consider agree, we consider the number of agree and strongly agree, we divided by the total number of students, multiply 100. So in our case, how many students answer strongly agree and agree? 1. So it will be 1 divided by the total number 4 multiplied 100. It will come the percentage of indirect. And normally this is what we consider. Just we consider strong agree and agree. And just to remind everyone, this is the continuous improvement process, always. Okay. That one was about the second topic, which is very important topic, and the fourth session. The third topic, it will be about the quality and relevancy of teaching strategies and assessment methods, which was already aligned with the previous one, because the previous one also they talk about how you design and develop CLOs and PLOs, which we already covered yesterday. Okay, normally, just to remind everyone, this is the teaching strategy or assessment methods, the way that we are practicing in our courses. We have a curriculum committee, knowledge area groups. This figure I give it before just to remind. Based on that, we have a course coordinator. Course coordinators, they approve the course syllabus and the specification. So based on that, the course syllabus, which is, as we yesterday defined it, is 2 pages that is just give the most important things from the course specification. It will be handed over to the students, okay, at the first week, first class. It will be uploaded in the Blackboard, for example. Then we implement the teaching strategies and assessment methods, strategies based on the CLO. This is the most important. If we ask what is, how you consider the teaching strategies or the assessment methods, our teaching strategies and assessment methods is based on the CLO. So based on that, we design our outcome-based exam, as we just explained now. We have exam moderation process, and we explain by the course coordinator who review the exam. We have peer review. We have the mark read checks, as we said, course file moderation, then course report, which can have any effects in everything. Okay, so this is important things just to remember. We explained before, alignment, it's very important. Our PLO or our program specification, our course specification is based on the alignment. The alignment is based on this figure. We have the learning outcomes. Everything is based on the learning outcome. So we have the resource and facilities. We have the content. We have the teaching strategies. So how we consider the teaching strategies is based on the learning outcome. Then also assessment methods, it will be based on the learning outcome. So as one of the examples, working effectively in team to accomplish a database project, for example. This is a learning outcome, CLO. For example, in database, working in team to accomplish, a database project. What acceptable teaching strategies? What is the acceptable assessment? Just to differentiate how they are looking, and they are looking to our course specifications and PLOs. Yes, Dr. Yusuf, tfadal.
To be involved in a mini project, for example, working with other students.
That's perfect. What about the assessment?
The assessment could be relied on the rubrics, for example, using the rubrics.
Exactly. They love to hear these things, rubrics and these things. Exactly. This is just to mention that the most important that the teaching strategies should be based on the learning outcomes. For example, this is working in team, cannot be just only classes or just give a lecture only without project, without working in groups, small groups, blah, blah, blah. And how you will assess, you cannot assess this learning outcome in exam. It's not acceptable to have work effectively in team to accomplish this project, and the assessment methods is exam. It's not acceptable for that, okay? And again, we said the alignment between everything, the CLOs, the teaching strategies, assessment methods, all of them is based on the CLO. Okay, this is Dr. Khairi, you are required here. One of the things they will discuss about the quality control of field experience. They have one topic they are talking about the field experience. Just I will say something, then we can hear from you, Dr. Khairi. Now, the course, the field experience, it's added to the updated plan, CS and ICE, but both of them still not taught yet, because even if ICE students still not reach to the level. We have updated specification. However, it's very important, very, very, very important to have field experience manual that is consistent with the specification. So, Dr. Khairi.
Actually, because we are not implementing this, it's not become an action. It's not we're practicing it per se. So we don't have that experience of improving, enhancing, taking feedback, and doing something with it. We have 1 or 2 students every year who want to go there. We never get the feedback from them. We just tell them out to go out. So we're not really practicing it. So we're improving our specification, improving our planning. That's all we can say. We are not implementing it yet.
But can we, during these 10 days, to have this field experience manual?
What do you mean manual?
Manual for the all field training that they have to do. We would like to see other universities where they have it, because this is one of the recommendations that has been given to one of the programs.
So besides the specification, we need to have a document that is for manual for people to use it, like a document to provide it to students and teachers to use it. Or that's what you're trying to say?
Yes, we can see also other universities what they are exactly. I don't have a clear picture how they would be the field experience manual, but we can see other universities how they have it, and we have to prepare it before the visit. Because we said really, still the students, they are not really go to that one, but we are ready, even if with the specification, we are ready with the field experience manual.
Okay.
Right. Also, one of the topics that they will consider in this session, the culture and the climate. They will ask about the standard 2, the program management. So as we said, the program management, this is just repeated. You can see now today, most of the slides I'm repeating from last sessions. Because why I'm repeating? Because we have to be, what they will say in standard 1 and standard 2 should be reflected what we are saying. So we have a good academic atmosphere. We have a well-organized task distribution, load distribution, course selection, academic advising system, student distribution and selection mechanism. They will ask, is it clear? Is it published to you? Is it fair? Is it the transparency? So the question will be asked for the head of department, the program management, then it will be repeated to us. So this is what we discussed during last 2 days, before 2 days. Just also to remind you, also they may ask what was the faculty recruitment and retention process, and this is the process that we discussed on Saturday. What is the process to hire you? So you can just go and repeat that, because for sure they will ask you when you have been hired, what was the process? So it should be aligned, and this is, I think, everyone goes to, even if Saudis and non-Saudis, they are go to the similar way. Also, one of the expected questions about the orientation program. We talk about it, about the faculty support. So the culture, the climate, and we have the orientation program. We just remind everyone, orientation program was 2 orientation programs before COVID. One was Tamkeen in the Deanship of Quality. One was in our program. Okay, normally give a common understanding of the university services, rules, academic advising, teaching responsibilities, course specification, report, CLO, PLO, assessment, course file, course system. All this was given during the orientation program. Some of faculty was giving a mentor for 30 days. A workshop inside the college, we have some workshops, even if this is one of the faculty supports these works that we are doing. We give course specification report, CLO, PLO assessment, workshop in development and quality unit, workshop outside the university, in NCAAA, ministry, others, attending conferences, all these things just to remind everyone. Okay. Now we will come to the last point or the last topic in this session, consistent and accurate communication with the students regarding program and course criteria, requirements, and the student performance. So just to remind that everyone, we have office hours, and it's fixed from the college. Everyone must has in his timetable 10 hours for office hour. And it's very important. And yesterday, the Dean, Dr. Hani, Dr. Yusuf, were discussing about how we will do with these office hours online. So Dr. Hani, Dr. Yusuf, if you can contribute to this one, we achieve arrive to final decision, or just consider the one that we said last time, 10 hours in the office hours, that students, they can communicate with us, come to us outside the classes.
Yes, as we discussed and as decided before, which is the 10-hour, and we have to focus on it, especially during the COVID. Are the students communicating with us using email, WhatsApp, and just be clear with everything.
Jazakallah khair. Also, academic advising, if you remember, we are talking about how we are communicating with the students. So we have office hour. Office hour is mainly for our students in the courses. We give them support regarding their level, criteria, requirement, anything, performance, how to achieve them. So we have these 10 hours for our courses, what we are teaching. For academic advising, so if you are academic advisor, it's compulsory that Dr. Ghassan now, we will talk about the procedures of academic advising, but everyone, if he is academic advisor, he has 4 hours to add in his timetable and should be free for these students. We have a tutorial for us in some courses, or most of the courses is optional. We give it in case of that we need to support students. We have not covered. We have some students, they have weaknesses. So we are trying to communicate in extra activities. Faculty timetable, this is what I talk about it. CLO-based feedback normally, as for example, Akram said, or normally when we give the feedback, our exam is designed to give CLO-based feedback. You can easily see the students, how their achievement in the CLO, so we can give them feedback on that. Communication with academic advisors, and we said extra. So Dr. Ghassan, I can give you more time to talk about the academic advising, because for sure they will ask about academic advising. And for example, I was involved in this session during an institutional visit. They asked, Naila, she was also involved at female section. She was, the committee asked her about the academic advising, the process. So Dr. Ghassan, I will stop sharing. I'm not sure you have something to share or just to speak.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed, for your effort. Jazakallah khair. We will discuss actually in brief about let me first share. Sorry. Okay, here. Can you see what I am sharing?
No, yes.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. So about the academic advising, we will discuss here a faculty member as an academic advisor. We are not going to discuss standard 4, but we are going to discuss the faculty member when he is assigned to be as an academic advisor. Maybe most of us are academic advisor. now we have, let's say, 34 colleagues. Most of them are academic advisors. So, and also in this session, 24 of faculty members, I think all of them are academic advisors. So there's some issues we should discuss about faculty member as an academic advisor. First of things, we will speak about responsibilities. What is, as an academic advisor, what's your responsibilities? Also, we will discuss about just general view about mechanism of distribution regarding students and advisor and advisees. Question and answer and some activities should be highlighted when we speak about academic advising. Regarding responsibilities, I'm not going to go through because all of you know the responsibility of academic advisor. In case he doesn't know or she doesn't know exactly what to answer, because this is one of the main question could be raised at that time. So we have this source. You can go through it. Just, I don't know if you, maybe I will share the whole screen. Yes. Let me share the whole screen so you can see where is it. Now what you can see, sorry?
Nothing, Doctor. No.
Nothing, Doctor. Nothing, yeah? Okay, let me share the whole screen. Yes. So this is regarding the responsibility advisor. You can go to the College of Computer Science and Information System, then units, academic advising unit, and just go to the unit task. You will see that academic advising, the task about it. Sorry. Unit services, you will see the responsibilities of advisor. This is the most things that advisor must prepare a file. And there is one question about this. Please just remind me. A study of irregular students, help students to add and drop, retrieve a medical excuse, and so on. The other things that also we can see is this is what I want you to remind me about. From where we can get this, okay, it is public in the website. Also, there is a procedure here, procedural evidence. Can go here and find the regulation and guidelines for advisor responsibilities. This is called the Dalil Ijra al-Amal al-Murshid al-Academy. Also, we distribute it through Telegram to you. Second point is the mechanism of distribution. We have a mechanism for distribute advices. This is our mechanism. You can go to the mechanism and see how we, there is advices list, advisor list also. Here we, after we make based on loading hours, management task, and so on, then we figure out the list of academic advisor and advisees. We approve it from the department or from the council. Then we inform advisees. Where the advisor can see, and this is very important that you can, everyone knows about this, but in case they said, where is the information about your advices? It is easy. Your students that you can advise them by going to the Educate system. From that, you can find a list menu called Advisor. And from that, you can click on Advisor, then you will see your students. Most of the things that you need are there. Plan, transcripts, timetable, and so on, emails. Then you can contact your advisors. Sorry, your advisees. Okay, there is some question answer and activities should be highlighted there. Let me go through and see what, as an academic, just question and answer, some question important. As an academic advisor, what is the procedure if your advisees request you to remove his or her absent? Can anyone answer? Anyone? Where is it? Here, yes. Yep. Anyone can answer? Let me.
Assalamu alaikum. May I?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Actually, the procedure is like this. First of all, the student has to provide you with the evidences that why he has been absent from this lecture, this exam, whatever. Then you have to submit this excuse to the academic advisor. No, the responsible, which is you from the academic advising. He will forward it to the dean. Then the dean will approve it. After that, the absence will be removed for this period.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Perfect. Anyone can answer also as advisors?
Yes, Dr. Ghassan. May I answer?
Yes, please. Yes.
First, as Dr. Majdoubi said, that we need the evidence why he was absent. So then, as an advisor, I have to prepare the one PDF file, which will include his study plan, which include his transcript and the one request from him, written request, signature and everything with evidence. I will make one PDF file and will send this to the coordinator of academic advising. Then the coordinator of academic advising, he will forward next to head of the department, and head of department, he will forward to the dean, and then after approval, the academic advisor will get the response of approving or disapproving from the coordinator of academic advising. Then I did not face this issue before, but I think then next academic advisor will contact with the registrar or person who is responsible to remove the his absent from the system.
Okay, great. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Akram. Anyone want to add something? No one, okay. Okay, let me discuss something which is important. Okay, we should have, once we said procedure, this is very important that we have a procedure. So anything related advising, advisors, advisees, request, we should mention this word, procedure. We have a procedure, we have a mechanism, we have. So our procedure, as what you said, that we go through after the students write a letter to discuss his situation. But before that, we ask Abu Muhammad, which is the administrator, I mean in the administrative level, management, to send a request to the hospital that we need such of document from you. It is not the students who's going to bring this evidence. After Abu Muhammad sent, they will respond, this hospital will respond it, or at least they will inform students to give us that Abu Muhammad sent to them. Then they will say in the hospital, in the letter that they will provide to the students, or they will send it directly to Abu Muhammad, that based on your request on the number so and so. After that, the advisor will collect this evidence plus the student's letter, transcripts, timetable, and so on of students, and put it in one file, and through CTS system. This is also important to mention, that we have a system regarding these issues. Through these systems, we make write the purpose study and so on. This is our this is details maybe, and one file, and send it to the coordinator of academic advising. The coordinator also, this is the second layer to check about this request. First layer, this is the third layer, sorry. The first layer that they send it with as a something secure or privacy. The second is the academic advisor, and here it is very important to mention that your opinion is very, because we mention always, your opinion is the most important factor once you send a request. The third point, which is the third layer also, to verify and see regarding this request, is the coordinator. Coordinator, after he check that things is accurate and correct, will send it, once it is absent, will send it to the dean. The dean will send it to the admission and registration, either to if, of course, if he approve it. Otherwise, if not approved, it will go top down. It will go to the coordinator. Coordinator will inform the advisor, and the advisor will inform the students that it is rejected. So we close the loop. We close the loop regarding this. This is very important. So we have mechanism. We have a system regarding these issues. And this is also important, that the advisor is tracking. Advisor is track the request, not just keep it unlimited time. No, he track the request and see what happened through what? Through the system. Okay. Another point, I will go quickly with this second point. As academic advisor, do you provide psychological support for your advisees? Let me see. Anyone can answer? Again, this is the question. Do you provide psychological support for your advisees? Okay, I don't know. We'll see. Just please, just try it. If yes, 1. If no, 2. I want to see all of you. Yeah, all 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Just try it. 1 mean yes. 2 mean no. Okay, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead. Okay, when you message 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. بقية معلش. The rest, either yes or no. الادفايزر 2، ترجبي مانع 2. غيداء 2.
سوري دكتور غسان.
معلش اوكي خلاص. ايش الدكتور يوسف قل لي.
Sorry, what's 2 and what's 1? Is it yes or no?
I said 2, no. The person said no, we do not support by psychological. 1 said yes. This is the question.
And
do you provide psychological support for your advices?
This is tricky questions and very important question, and has been asked in other visits.
Okay, actually most of you said no. However, let us go to our SSR and see what we wrote there. This is the SSR, similar, most of them similar. Okay, regarding the psychological, let me go up to see. Okay, here down. Okay, what we said, students advising and counseling services of highest program provides counseling regarding student psychological, social problems. So yes, but through central unit of academic advising. And you can go and see, this is the central unit of academic advising, and there is Manassa, there is a portal called Arshidni, and he can click. Because if we say no, if we say no, that's mean what we do for this. There is some issues regarding psychological support. As advisor, we guide him, we provide this service, but not direct. We provide it indirect through this central unit. This is what we wrote in the SSR, sorry. This is SSL, this is secure socket layer, something different. So this is maybe something tricky. Okay, here. So student advising and counseling services are providing counseling regarding student psychological problem through central unit of academic advising. We do not do it direct, no. We make it indirect, and we also distribute a lot of announcement. We have many evidence that students can go to this psychological, and they deal with the privacy. They deal with the secure things regarding these issues. Okay, academic advisor improvement. Do you have any improvement regarding academic advisor as advisor? Let me see your answer.
دكتور غسان الدكتور يوسف يريد
آسف يا دكتور يوسف تفضل. معليش أنا مشيت.
I want to ask about the previous point. So we don't provide any psychological advice in the program level. So it's only supported by the university. Is that correct?
Great.
Okay.
ممتاز جدا. Right. Okay. But if we say no, let's say if we say no, okay, so if you find issues regarding psychological issues or problems, you have to deal with it, but not direct, indirect through central unit, because they have specialized person. If you say yes, I'm the person who is doing this, then you make yourself the trouble. Yes, because why? You don't have a certificate related to this. Unless you have certificate, okay. You don't have experience with these issues. Maybe this person needs some psychological, he has, I don't know about these issues, but you should just guide him, and as Dr. Yusuf said, in program level, we do not have psychological problem, psychological advising or guidance. We just guide them to go to the central unit, and we show them how to go.
Okay, another question.
Yes,
question.
Please.
Thank you so much for your complete answer. Is the academic advising unit in the college support any of the faculty members in any way with the things that you were talking about, the psychological thing? Or Because I'm assuming that the faculty members is part of the program. So is there any services is there anything that's mentioned and the tasks or the responsibility of this unit?
Actually, no. Regarding the psychological, you mean the central unit or in the program level?
Both, actually.
ما سمعتك. Central unit, صح?
I'm asking about both. If one of the faculty
okay. Regarding our unit, we do not provide any training regarding the psychological guidance. We don't have this. But in central unit, also they do not give us a training or workshop regarding psychological. No, they just ask us to refer students to them. Ask students, this is the way and the path that you can go to the central unit. And we distribute a lot of promotion, advertising to advisees.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hassan.
Just one of the things could be the answer. Like for the advising unit, I think it's related to the student standard. So we can say the advising unit is only for the students. This is because when you just check the criterion of the standards, you will find only the advising unit is only related to the student standard. So this could be one of the answer, Dr. Yusuf.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
دكتور احنا ما نسمعك دكتور غسان.
Asif, sorry. As an academic advisor, do you have any things that improve your skills or follow up your responsibilities, work? Anyone can answer, just a quick answer. Okay, let me answer it. We have, as academic advisor improvement, we have a workshop every first week in each semester. Central unit also, they make a workshop regarding academic advisor and try to develop their skills. Quality deanship also, they make a workshop every semester, 1 or 2, regarding academic advising. Also the follow-up. There are follow-up from the unit. Let us see this example. Here an example. دكتورة أستاذة إيمان جزاها الله خير مرسلة أستاذة مها. This is some of example evidence that from Ustadha Maha, she sent it to their advisees about the follow-up. Some instructor complained that some students not appear online during courses. As I'm advisor, I advise you that you should be aware that becoming absent may affect your class standing and score. And this is Jazallah Khair, Dr. Hani, he asked us to send it to all advisees through the academic advisor. And this is just one example that Ustadha Maha, she sent it to her advisees. So there is a follow-up from the advisor. There is also evaluation of academic advisor, and there is evaluation workshop at the end. Okay, this is here. Okay, what are the, let's say this is also one important questions. What are the duties of an academic advisor? I want the main things as academic advisor or main responsibility of academic advisor. Just in 1 or 2 lines. Anyone can answer? Even just write it if you don't want to answer. The main responsibility as an advisor? Is it to excuse, request, or is it add and drop, requests, Anyone can answer? شكلي يوم قلت 1 و2 1 و2 بطل الجميع. I'm so sorry. أي واحد ممكن يجاوب? Anyone can answer? Okay. Okay, please, yeah, just go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Hassan, actually, it covers all the academic activities of the student. Advisor is responsible, like for registration of courses, for adding, dropping, for any kind of appeals if students have, for any disciplinary cases if they have, for any absent excuses, till their graduation, for all their academic activities inside the program, academic advisor is responsible.
Okay, great, mashallah. Dealing with the absent, Dr. Rania, she said, I dropped courses first week, ممتاز. Dealing with the absence, Ustad Mohammed said, clarifying the policies and procedure, رائع جدا. And so on. Okay, let me. Yes, please add.
I think for the academic advisor, it's not only that they do some reactions. So they wait for the student to come up with some issues for them. I think they should also be proactive. So they can predict some of the performance. If they see something wrong with the students, with their attendance, with their marks. So they should be a little bit proactive and talk to the students so they can prevent anything that's going to happen.
Right. Great. Thank you. Yes. Okay. There are. Okay. I just prepare one answer, which is general, that an academic advisor advises students concerning their academic plans and progress, academic schedule, choice of courses, and other academic activities and career goals to assist the student in making decisions concerning personal education goals leading to graduation. So we want students to graduate with high performance and with a short time. High performance and short time, so you give him the academic plans, progress, academic schedule, shows him, try to help him in selecting courses and other academic activities, career goals, and so on. Okay, this is similar. That's all regarding there is some examples actually related to the academic advising, and I will end it with this. Here, some report, and it is report. Okay, here, for example, this is one of the follow-up, Sada Iman. She said, I would like to thank all the advisors who cooperated and communicated effectively with their students, and I ask you to send me a report on details about the following. So there is follow-up from the academic advising unit to their advisees in case there is some questions regarding this. What are the most important topic inquiries, example of this inquiry, and so on. Here there is some evidence of the response of Ustad Mahad. She answered, okay, how many students? This is just report date from this date until September, from August until September, let's say. For students' inquiries, what are they, adding, dropping, and so on. There is some evidence about example of academic advising emails. Here, this is start that this students, she said some things regarding the time, and Sada Mahashi replied to this, do not come to the campus. We can follow up your problems and so on. Also, there is some evidence. I have many evidence regarding also Dr. Akram, Dr. Shah Masood, Mohammed Al-Majdoub. Many of you actually, there are many evidences regarding how to solve these kinds of problems regarding academic advising. At the end, I would like to thank academic advisors actually for their effort and for their help in make the academic advising unit make their work is very perfect. I hope so, and very easy. Thank you. جزاكم الله خير. شكرا دكتور محمد.
جزاك الله خير دكتور. جزاك الله خير دكتور حسان. طيب. Thank you. Just only we have last slide here, and we have time for Dr. Anwar. That one was the topics that will written to be discussed in this session. However, another topics could be discussed, like about the mission and goals, as we discussed during the last sessions, committee and councils, how you are involved in the committees, how you are involved in the council, what is the work. They could also discuss about the research, how you are engaged in the research, how you get the research fund project, what is the time for research also could be discussed. Community engagement, what is your community engagement and contribution. They would also discuss about the facilities and resources, about the labs, what is the issues if you have a problem. All these issues could be, additional topics could be discussed. This is as expected. Dr. Anwar, Jazakallah khair. Do you have anything to add or to highlight about today?
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, Doctor. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Let's just say some questions in very simple way, even if you can write in the chat. So what is the duration, just in the red color, what is the duration of the PLO assessment plan? Can you write it in the chat? Just only number, we need the number. What is the duration? How many years? 4 years. Jazakumullah khair. Okay. What are the main PLO assessment methods? In our assessment methods, what is the main PLO assessment methods? We have 4 main PLO assessments. What they are? We have direct, indirect, formative assessment, summative assessment. Yes, Jazakumullah khair. Let's pick other questions. Okay. How your course learning outcomes were developed? Any institutional rules, policy? That's perfect. According to NCAAA, ABIT, what else? Dr. Ghassan, ACM as well. Followed ABIT, societies, SAQF. Okay, we are also here talking about the course learning outcomes. Provided attributes of university, mission of the program, goals of the program, curriculum mapping, the PLOs. That's perfect. Okay. What is the process of assessing course learning outcome? How you assess your learning outcome, course learning outcome? Through direct, indirect assessment. That's perfect. Exams and surveys. Okay. Are the teaching strategies, assessment strategies, same in male and female section? Give me example and how. Yes, through same course specification is followed by both, and finally we come up with one course report. And yes, for example, yes, same coordinator, yes. Okay, this is a tricky question. Do you use the same exam for male and female students? If no, how do you guarantee same level of exam? Exam moderation process give us through the course coordinator, it give us unified exam. We have unified exam. We are in the process, as Dr. Hani said in the first day, we are in the process to have a unified exam, one exam, but we are working now in uniform exam. We are through course exam moderation process, course coordinator, we are following the same way, but we are in the process to have the same exam. But before COVID, we was difficulties in the timetable. That's perfect. How you were involved in the development of course in the program development in general? How you are involved in the continuous and the quality of the program, quality assurance of the program? That perfect through committees, curriculum committee, assessment committee, KPIs committee. That's perfect. Workshop, surveys, head of knowledge group. That's perfect. Through knowledge group, that's perfect. Okay. Research plan, research report. That's perfect. This is questions like Dr. Ghassan said, and this could be one of the questions. Explain the process of students complain from the time it starts until have the feedback to students. I think Dr. Ghassan, he covered that. What is the method to deal with gifted, creative, talented, and underachieved students in the program? As a faculty. Because we have different type of students, gifted students, creative students, talented, underachieved. Okay, encourage them to participate, okay, like programming, Naila, appreciations to highly graded students every semester. Dr. Youssef, rewarding, engaging them in the college clubs. List their names in the board. Our students participate in the university innovation. Okay, we have to prepare for that. The time. Okay, I have a question. Do we accept special needs students in our program? Do your program accept special needs students?
Doctor, I think yes, but not all the disabilities or something.
That's great, Dr. Mohammed. What is the rule to accept them? This is very tricky question. If you said yes in all, it's problem. If you said no, it's a problem. We are accepting special. Tfadal, Dr. Hani.
Yeah, thank you. As Dr. Mohammed said, yes, we are accepting students with special needs until certain our conditions based on the regulation and admission and the evidence we posted. The student should be fit and it's some requirements. It's written in the registration and admission for our college. It's under certain condition we can accept a student with a special needs. And yes, the college is provided with the services.
And
Exactly.
We can add something to this. I'm not sure if this is correct or not.
Yes, Doctor.
Based on the medical records, what the doctor says about his situation, whether he can participate and be a student in a normal situation, I think we can decide whether the program should accept him or not.
Yes, Jazakumullah khair. This is very important things. You know how we accept the special needs based on the program requirement itself. For example, some other programs, they will accept some types of special needs, some types of student special needs, and others no. For example, in our case, we have to define what is the things that prevent to accept the special needs students. For example, do we are accepting blended students that they cannot see? Why? Because it's not because of their problem. We are trying to save their future, because maybe their special needs that they have, it cannot fit of our requirement and they cannot do it. So we have to define it exactly based on our program. For example, in the graphics, designing graphics, if any students, they have this color blended problem, they cannot distinguish between the colors, we cannot accept them. Why not? Because of us, because we are saving his future. So we have to define it exactly, because I remember this is a question was raised during our institutional visit, and some of the programs said, no, we cannot accept at all. It was a problem. Some of them, they said, yes, we have to define what is the requirement based on the requirement of the program itself. So we have also to be ready for that. I think it's 5 minutes more. How to ensure the quality of teaching during COVID-19? We have to prepare for that. Tomorrow is very important session, will be a conclusion session for the last 4 sessions. I encourage everyone to attend. If anyone has any questions or something to add. So, Jazakumullah khair. I will pass it to Dr. Mohammed. Jazakumullah khair for your participation.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed, for this again and again great effort and presentation. I will pass the talk to the one who started the meeting, like with many thanks. I'm so sorry because I came late, so he will just close the meeting. Dr. Hani or Dr. Yusuf or Dr. Abdullah or the one who started.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And as Dr. Mohammed said, thank you, Dr. Alshargabi, for the fantastic job you're doing. It's really helping us a lot to understand what's in the quality. And personally, I feel it's coming all together now. I can see the big picture of the quality work. So thank you, everyone. I know it's been a little bit exhausting week, but we will gain a lot from this. At the end of the day of the last session of the real visit, we will feel, inshallah, relieved after all. So thank you so much all, and I wish you have a very good night, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Yeah, just go ahead, Dr. Mohammed, if you want.
Jazakumullah khair, everyone. See you tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah. Allah yahfazkum, inshallah.